At 11,000 feet above sea level, this redefines elevation. Happy Memorial Day weekend, everybody. If you are here in this country and you know a veteran, you see a veteran, tell them thank you. Thank you for fighting for the freedom and rights that we enjoy in this country. I want to say a personal thank you to every veteran I know out there in the racing community and beyond. Thank you for fighting for the freedoms that I never take for granted. Thank you and happy Memorial Day. Hey folks, Dad here with Elevation Diecast Racing. It's time for the gift car race finale, bracket 2, and we'll see if anything is going to get into the case ranks, and will anything be fast enough for the top tier? Alright, these have all went through a sort of qualifying, and just like the last race, I expect some of these to get faster today than when I put them in there. When you see oddballs like the General Lee or the Pink Challenger or the Dixie Challenger, it just means they are fill-in cars here from the home track to make it a 32 car bracket. I think I had to add 8 to make it a 32 car bracket. So without any further ado, man, let's get rolling with this race. Hopefully by now you have seen the Real Rider and Gift Car Bracket Race 1 by now, and if you have picked a car, I checked before I did this video, you'll be named at the end. If you win, we'll see how it all shakes out. Bracket 2 is underway. This is Poverty Hollow in the Gran Torino, taking on another gift car from a while back, and I don't remember who sent this along. It was a couple years ago. Poverty Hollow diecast in the Gran Torino. Gold Hot Ones. Ooh, I got a fast Torino. 2075, moving Poverty Hollow to the round number 2. Next two up, both from 131 Racing. On the far side is Clay in his Way Too Fast, taking on Kyle in his Art Cars Hot Wheels Combat Medic. Combat Medic out, but Way Too Fast. Just that, 2089 is the time to beat Way Too Fast. Clay moving on to round number 2. And we do have a track temperature of 72 degrees. Next two upstaged and ready. On the far side is Duke's Sports Cards on eBay, taking on the Big Bishop in his Johnny Lightning 72 Chevy Nova. Johnny Lightning rolling on Mile High, and he's going to get the win, 2080 to 90. Not too often we see the Johnnies having to roll Mile High. Doing pretty good. He'll be featured in the Friday Night Lightning. And going on to round number 2, Big Bishop Racing with his 72 Nova. Next 2 up are both from the Poverty Hollow Diecast Racing. It's Scoop in the Ferrari 308 in brown, taking on the Redline Club 442 Oldsmobile. 2 really sweet cars. Well, let's see which car is faster today. Good race. 2088 to 91. 2088 is the time to beat. Oh, 2090. So the 308 moving on for Poverty Hollow to round number 2. Next 2 upstaged and ready is one from Dad's race team. It's the Jaguar I-Pace. It's the 19th one I've ever opened, taking on one of the Bavarian diecast Johnny Lightnings. This is Mr. Norm's Charger. Uh-oh, Norm's in trouble. 91 to 98. 2091 is the time to beat. Norm gonna get it with a 2090. Good job. Bavarian diecast moving to round number 2. Next 2 up in the blocks, it's Big Bishop in his King Cuda, taking on one of the house cars, the Nissan Liberty Walk Skyline. Uh-oh, Skyline a bit too fast. 2082 is the time. A little bit of race this time, 2086, but Big Bishop in the King Cuda is going to advance to round number 2. Up next, it's Jungle Falls in his Spitfire, taking on the General Lee. Wow, Jungle Falls taking it with a one-and-done victory, 2-1-3-3. Next up, staged and ready from the Stone Ponies Racing, this is Chris in his Fast and Furious Corvette, taking on one of the home team cars, a Matchbox 70 Challenger. Corvette with a 2079, and I don't know why I want to keep calling those Cudas Challengers. It is a Plymouth Cuda. But the Corvette with a 2075, moving the Stone Ponies on to round number 2. Moving over to the other side, it's a Dixie Challenger from Elevation, taking on Flip's Monte Carlo Stalker. 2077 will be the time to beat. 2069, moving Flips Racing to round number 2. Next 2 up is the 1969 Johnny Lightning Plymouth Roadrunner by the Chase Family Racing, taking on the 1968 Pontiac Firebird from Steel City Mafia Racing. 2 Johnnies rolling on Mile High. Good race. Firebird taking it 2-1-1-0. 2-1-1-0 is the time to beat. Good race. 2-1-0-5. Wow, the Chase Family Racing coming back on the outside lane. Moving to round number 2. Next 2 up in the blocks, there is Captain K's Racing's Salt Shaker and Flip Racing driving the Carroll Shelby Golf livery. Wow, 2082 by the Golf is the time that Salt Shaker will need to beat. Salt Shaker running good times. He'll definitely be competing in the under 30 class, but it's Flip's Shelby Cobra moving on to round number 2. Next 2 up, staged and ready in the Speed Seeker is Kyle from 131 Racing, taking on Clutches McKay. Driver is Henry Stanislawski from Stick Dog Racing. Clutches McKay with a 2069. Wow. 2069 is the time to beat. Clutches McKay with a 2067 advancing Stick Dog Racing to round number 2. Next 2 up from the Stone Ponies Racing, it's Dawson and his Johnny Lightning Green Lantern Hornet, taking on 131 Racing's Kyle in his Ford GT90. Oh my Lanta, look at the GT90 with a 2076. And that will be the time to beat. 2072 now by the GT90, moving Kyle to round number 2. Next 2 up in the blocks, it's a Elevation Bugatti taking on the Bavarian diecast GTO from Johnny Lightning. 2107. That'll be the time to beat for Johnny Lightning. Way out this time. 2105 gets a Bavarian diecast to round number 2. Next up, another one of Dad's cars. It's the Intimidator. Dale Earnhardt taking on Kyle's Silver Bullet from 131 Racing. 131 with a 2079. 2079 is the time to beat. Kyle having no problem. Wow, 2071 moving to 131 again to round number 2. And the last matchup of round number 1, Stone Ponies Racing. This is Chris in the T-Rex funny car taking on the Wild Pony Mustang funny car from one of Dad's cars. Let's see which funny car is faster. I think we knew how that was going to turn out. Wow, 2063 to 85. And 2063 will be the time to beat. Good race. 2059 by the T-Rex funny car. Fastest time of the day. Moving the Stone Ponies. Chris on to round number 2. All right, moving up into round number 2, we have Clay 131 Racing and is way too fast. Taking on Scoop from Poverty Hollow in the Gran Torino. Good race, 78 to 81. 2078 is what the Torino needs to beat. Looks like he might do it. 2076, wow, the Torino. Moving on to round number 3. Good race. Next 2 up in the block, staged and ready. Big Bishop Racing and his Johnny Lightning Chevy Nova taking on Scoop's 308 Ferrari with the 5-dot wheels. Wow. Nova taking off 77 to 87. 77 is the time to beat. Nova driving around him on the big end. He will advance. Big Bishop Racing with his Johnny Lightning Chevy Nova. Next 2 up, we got Bavarian Diecast and the Johnny Lightning Charger taking on Big Bishop in the King Cuda. Wow, Johnny Lightning taking off like a shot. 2080. And a 2080 is the time to beat. Mr. Norm's Charger rolling on to round number 3. All right, next 2 up. It is the Jungle Falls Spitfire taking on Stone Ponies Chris and his Fast and Furious Corvette. Good race, 77 to 08. And 2077 is the time. 2073 moving the Stone Ponies to round number 3. Next 2 up in the blocks, it's Flips Racing and his Monte Carlo Stalker taking on the Chase Family Racing Roadrunner from Johnny Lightning. Roadrunner got a rough start in that one out of the gate. 2068 is the time to beat. Better start this time. Not able to keep up. 2074 moving Flip on to round number 3. Next 2 up in the blocks, the Shelby from Flips Racing taking on the Stick Dog Racing and the Pixar Clutches McKay. Should be a good race. 2061 now to 81. Wow. 2061 impressive by Clutches McKay. Let's see what happens here. Woo, 2066 moving Clutches on to round number 3. Next 2 up, Bavarian Diecast and his gold GTO taking on Kyle and his Ford GT90. Wow, 77 to 19, 119. 2077 is the time to beat. 2076, Kyle moving his Ford GT90 to round number 3. And last race for round number 2, it's Kyle and his Silver Bullet taking on the Stone Ponies Chris in his T-Rex funny car. Good race. 2060 now. is the time to beat. 2:05.6 now. T-Rex moving on to round number 3. And then there were 8. Johnny Lightning, Mattel Fast and Furious, Hot Wheels, taking on Hot Wheels, Pixar, Hot Wheels, and Hot Wheels. Quarterfinals kicks us off with Scoop from Poverty Hollow and his Gran Torino, taking on the Big Bishop Racing in his 1972 Chevrolet Nova. Wow, Hot Wheels taking them 2:07.4 is the time the Big Bishop will need. Oh, 2:07.2. Oh, I can hardly believe it. He gets him in the back end of the track. Wow, Johnny Lightning, Big Bishop Racing moving on to the semifinal race. Wow. I have to admit, I was not expecting that. What a race. Next up, it's Chris from the Stone Ponies Racing in the Corvette, taking on the Bavarian Bomber in his Johnny Lightning Charger. Good race. 77-80. 2:07.7 is the time to beat. Oh, the Corvette this time, though. 2:07.6 going to the semifinal round. Stone Ponies Racing. Next two up in the blocks ought to be a great race. Flips Racing in his Monte Carlo Stalker, taking on the Stick Dog Racing Henry Stanislawski in Clutches McKay. Great race. Wow, 65-7. The Monte Carlo is up. Kim McKay pull out a clutch run. 2:06.5 the time. Look at him out. 2:06.1. Wow. Oh my Lanta. Clutches McKay moving to the semifinal round. Wow. And Kyle from 131 Racing in his GT90 taking on Chris from the Stone Ponies Racing in his T-Rex funny car. GT90 was out, but 2:05.8 is the time to beat. Great race. 2:05.7 moving the T-Rex funny car to the semifinal round. And then there were 4. Who's going to the finals of Bracket 2 and racing for 3rd before the grand final when the brackets meet? Big Bishop in his Chevy Nova taking on the Bavarian Bomber in Mr. Norm's Charger. Johnny Lightning duking it out here for the final race, for the spot to go to the final race. 2:07.3 is the time Mr. Norm will have to beat. Close race. 2:08.4 won't get it done. Moving Big Bishop to the final race in his Johnny Lightning Nova. Opposition will be one of these from Stone Ponies. It's the T-Rex funny car taking on Henry's Security Pixar Clutches McKay. McKay out front. Wow. Just got driven around. 2:05.8 to 5.9. 2:05.8 is the time to beat for Clutches McKay. Good race. 2:05.3 now by the funny car, taking the Stone Ponies to the final race. Now the race for 3rd in the second bracket. The Bavarian Bomber in his Johnny Lightning taking on Henry in his Pixar Clutches McKay. 2:05.8 now is the time to beat. Johnny Lightning doesn't have a chance in this one. Clutches McKay will be seen as 3rd overall in the second bracket. And for your final, Chris from the Stone Ponies Racing in his T-Rex funny car taking on the Big Bishop in his Johnny Lightning 1972 Nova. Wow, I love it. Let's go. 2:05.6 to 8.2. 2:05.6 is the time to beat. 2:06.0. And it will be the Stone Ponies Racing. Chris sending in the T-Rex funny car will be the winner of the second bracket. Big Bishop sending in the Johnny Lightning 72 Nova. And Henry from Stick Dog Racing, taking third overall in the second bracket with Clutches McKay. Running fourth is the Bavarian Bomber in his Mr. Norm's Charger. Which brings us to the grand final. First overall from the first race was the Boggs Family Racing in their EV Silverado. They'll be taking on the funny car from Stone Ponies Diecast. The race for second will be between Clay and Big Bishop. And the race for third, Boggs Family Racing and Clutches McKay. Just for fun, we're going to see and run off the two number 4s, Bavarian Diecast and the Chase Family Racing Evo versus Johnny Lightning. Look at Johnny Lightning go, 84 to 04. Oh, it's 84 and 86. So Bavarian will take fourth overall in between the two brackets. So the winner of the third place race and the winner of the second place race will face off for ultimate bracket second and third. Here is the two third place winners from bracket 1 and bracket 2. Boggs Family Racing taking on, wow, Henry Stanislawski with a 2:06.2 with Clutches McKay. Keep in mind, 2:07.2 is a fantastic time for any main line to come off the shelf from 2025. 2:06.6 moves Clutches McKay up. Winner of bracket 1, Clay, taking second place in that bracket with his High Roller 2. And your current bracket for bracket number 2 here, this was from bracket 1, bracket 2, Big Bishop Racing and his Johnny Lightning Nova. Wow, good race, 81 to 82. Clay is up. I know the grandkids are shouting, "Let's go, Papa. Let's go, Nova." And I know Clay's kids are shouting, "Let's go. Let's go, High Roller." Well, here you kids go. 2:08.1 is the time Big Bishop needs to beat. Good race. 2:08.2 won't get it done, and Clay will move on. So now we kind of got a semifinal here. This will be our two bracket winners race. That will be next. Actually, this will be next. So now racing for third will be these two. The winner of this race will face the loser of this race to decide ultimate first, second, third. I hope that makes sense. Clear as mud, right? Henry taking on Clay. Let's see how this turns out. Clutches McKay with a 2:05.6 now. Wow. And that'll be the time to beat. 6-3, which will secure Clutches McKay at least a third place spot. And your two bracket winners from the first bracket, the Boggs Family Racing in his Silverado EV, taking on the Stone Ponies Racing. It's Chris and his T-Rex funny car for the ultimate win. Race 2:05.7 to 7.8. And good race, 5.6 to 7.3. And now the race for second and third. Clutches McKay taking on the Boggs Family Racing EV Silverado. Another good race, 63 to 72. 2:06.3 is the time Boggs Family will need to beat. Good race again, 61 to 74. And there is the final results. Your overall winner from both brackets, Chris from the Stone Ponies Racing in his T-Rex funny car, coming in second overall from both brackets, is Clutches McKay with his Henry Stanislawski with Clutches McKay in the Pixar. And coming in third, the Boggs Family Racing in his gray Silverado EV. What a fantastic race. Thanks again for everybody joining in, watching this race. Now it's time for some bonus racing Lots of speed came out of this race. Of course, we're going to see if the funny car can beat the fastest funny car so far ranked in the rank. So let's see what happens here. This is for spot number 1 in the funny car class. Race 49 to 57. 204.9 and greater than 8. 48 to 59 this time. Let's see how he does against the Hearst funny car. This is for spot number 12. 54 to 60, a little closer. 205.4 and greater than 6 is the time to beat. 205.5, we're getting a lot closer. For spot 13. Again, not doing too bad for just getting warmed up. 61 and greater than 8 would be the time to beat, and I do expect that funny car to get faster over time. Wow, 50 to 68. I don't know why he slowed down now. All right, I recentered his axles. Let's see how he does this time. A little better, 53 to 50. It matters 99% of the time. Wow, 48 to 60. Uh-oh. It looks like some of my funny cars are waking up. So he will take the gatekeeper spot for sure. 55 and greater than 13 the time. Not happening. All right, climbing up the ladder. Let's see what he does against Chewy. We'll get him. 54 to 60. 54 and greater than 6 is the time to beat. T-Rex pulling it off again. Let's see how he does against the Bonneville. 55 to 8. 205.5 and greater than 3 is the time to beat. 205.7 won't do it, but it does get him in the ranks. 18th overall for the funny car class for the Stone Ponies diecast. Next, we'll take a look at Clutches McKay. 51 to 61 class. Oh yeah, let's go. Let's see if he has what it takes to get right into the elevated ranks. This is the Mick Olson race. Great race. 55 to 60. We'll switch lanes. 55 and greater than 5 is what Clutches will need to take that spot. Not quite gonna get there, but man, he's quick. So now we'll go like normal. We'll skip by 5s. This is for spot 25. This is 25th overall, or 5th in the B-sides. Clutches McKay, 53 to 59. 53 and greater than 6 is what Clutches needs. Good race, 50 to 8 though. Next up, the 56 Crown Vic, or Ford Victoria rather. He will get the Ford. 58 and greater than 1. 55. 15th in the B-sides is the Mattel Fast and Furious Roadrunner. Good race. 61 to 62. 61 and greater than 1. The time for Clutches to beat. Looks like, he will not get it done. Wow. Let's see what he does against the Redline Camaro. Camaro gets him 66 to 8. Clutches should be able to take this one. Oh yeah, easily 59 to 68, which will give him a shot at the Nissan Skyline. Spot number 18, he gets him 60 to 5. 60 and greater than 5 is what the Skyline will need to keep his spot. Won't do it. 55, Clutches getting faster. Let's see what he does against my slowest whale. 56, 10,000 beat by the whale. And I do have one sitting 3rd in this rank. And 1 7th overall in my top tier. Clutches needs 205.6 and greater than a 10,000 beat. Wow, he'll get it! Oh, he beat him! So Henry, with his 2nd place, Clutches McKay, ending up 16th in the B-side ranks. And if you add 16 to 19, that gives you your overall number for this weight class. which takes us to the 31 to 40 class. The Boggs family racing with his third place EV Silverado. Let's see if he can take out the Tide. Gatekeeper race. Not quite. 70 to 5. 2070 and greater than 5. Wow, good race. We'll be looking for the first EV Silverado to get into the B-sides. This would be really good. I'd like to see this. 2071 to 77. And before I forget, your drivers for the Caprice and the Real Rider is Northern Road Racing, Bavarian Diecast Racing, and Kitterman Speed Shop. Your winner of tonight's race, driving the T-Rex Funny Car, Henry Stanislawski, and Northern Roads Racing. Second place, nobody picked. Clutches McKay. Third place, EV Silverados. Also, nobody picked. Let's see. 71 and greater than 6, the time to beat. Great race. All right, for spot number 10 in the B-sides. Drives around the Shark. No, the Shark got him by 10 thousandths. No, it's an ultimate tie. Are you kidding me? Wow. 2078. Here's the time to beat. Boggs Family Racing going to get in. Oh yeah, 76 to 80. So the Boggs Family Racing securing their spot at number 10 in the B-side ranks for this 31 to 40 weight class, taking on the Lamborghini Urus for spot number 9. 79 to 80. Wow. 2079 and greater than 1 will be the time the Urus would need to beat. Wow, 77 to 80. Let's see if they can beat the Jaguar. Tough race. 2073 to 6. 2073 and greater than 3 is what the Boggs family will need. Oof. 2072. Oh, but a 2069 by the Jaguar. Wow. So the Boggs family racing getting their EV Silverado in 9th overall in the B-sides, 28th overall in the rank. And for time's sake, that's going to do it for us. You know how we roll here at Elevation. We'll be going through these. The Johnny Lightnings will be featured on this week's edition of Friday Night Lightning, or next week as it would be. And more of these notable cars will be in their respective weight classes, and we'll set up the next live broadcast after this video populates for a few days. We'll get another look at some of these fast castings. And this has been great. This has been extremely fun as we look at some upcoming events. Next on the calendar for drag racing is the Chase Family Racing, the NASCAR race. And then Freedom Dragway with his vans and trucks. 8th Mile Shootout race. And then here at Mile High, the Soccer Mom Shootout, June 28th. Those races are coming up. So from all of us over here at Elevation Diecast Racing, if your car isn't fast, well, at least it'll look good on the shelf. Have a great weekend.